Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Most people brush it off or they blame themselves, saying things like, I lost my mojo. Or people make excuses like, hey, honey, I had a long day at work. I'm just not feeling it. Guys, with Roman, it is easy to talk about. With a real healthcare professional who can prescribe real medication, it's simple, safe, and totally discreet. With Roman, you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you with free 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Go to GetRoman.com/Chael today. If approved, you'll get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. I did a show today for ESPN called Bet, B-E-T, and it's these two guys, and they're greatest energy, man. These guys are two cool guys. They're out in Las Vegas, so they cover all sorts of things that you could possibly game on, but including the UFC. And one of their opinions was two-folded opinion. Heavyweight championship does not go the distance. They based that bet on the idea that Stipe, one punch from Stipe, anything can happen, he'll put you out. Ngannou, one punch from Ngannou, anything can happen, he'll put you out. And these two just aren't likely to go 25 minutes. And they based it around the concept that Ngannou is so much better and a completely different fighter than the first time he and Stipe fought. Now, it's important that you know that they had both pieces of information. Because when you hear the first pick, which is it will not go the distance, it would lead you to believe the person and author of that statement doesn't know they've already fought and they already went the distance. And secondly, and moreover, that Ngannou is a drastically different fighter. That's the one I struggle with. Ngannou is great. He is the right number one contender. He is a scary man. A different fighter surprises me. And if you go back and you look at the talk and the narrative leading into Ngannou versus Stipe part 1, it was that Ngannou was going to become the champion and keep that championship forever. I mean, this was the talk, right? I get that nobody keeps it forever, but you guys remember the day when Ronda Rousey could beat up Floyd Mayweather too, right? I mean, there's some weird things that come out in MMA. This was one of the talks. So it was such a surprise when Stipe was able to go out there and defeat him. But I do think if you look at this from those two questions and break it down, of course, we don't know what happens. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen. That's why we tune in. We have a little bit of fun. But if you were to use logic on your side and Stipe wins, you're likely that he wins by going all 25 minutes. I don't know how likely you are that Stipe could finish Ngannou. I don't know how likely you are to believe that Stipe is going to submit him and or knock him out. And not to mention, if Stipe is going to come up with the same game plan that he came in the first time, which is take this guy down, then you're probably going to be there a while. And the other side of the coin lies on Francis. And in many ways, if Francis does not win this in the first round, Francis's chances of winning this fall off drastically, which comes to the second point, saying that Francis is a drastically different fighter now than he was then. I don't see that. Do you guys? Am I missing something? Francis has not entered any grappling events. I bring that up because even on the side, there's nothing that we have to make us believe that he's a better grappler. We're hearing from his coaches that he's working a lot harder on grappling and that he's implemented some form of grappling every single day for the last 3 years. I don't dispute that. How much better can you get in practice? The answer is a lot. You get a lot better in practice. Hell of a lot better. Enough to sway in a world title fight. Can you get good enough in practice at something to sway a world title? This isn't just a couple of guys. These are the two guys. And you rely on something that you got in practice, but you never applied in principle. Not to mention, it is relevant who Francis fought since Stipe. And not one of those guys came out wrestling heavy or had a resume that was a wrestling heavy resume. Not one of them. And I bring that to you because it wasn't as though Francis went in there and found a way to catch and knock guys out who were looking to change elevation and blast him. Even with the Cain Velasquez fight, don't think you need to bring me Cain's resume as an amateur wrestler. I'm well aware of it, but what fight have you ever seen where Cain came out and tried to wrestle? That's just not what we've seen. And in many ways, as I am telling you that I'm a little lost in the narrative, I do fully understand that Francis is one punch away from winning this thing. I fully understand that. But I'm also attempting to add a level of credibility to all of you that went with your gut reaction, and possibly old Chael's overthinking this thing. I mean, right, if we get to hindsight and Francis knocks out Stipe, then I've clearly overthought this. Clearly. But I'm not meaning to get philosophical on it. I'm just looking for one piece of evidence to make us believe that what happened before won't happen again. And the guys that have their own show are taking Francis. They think he's a drastically different fighter. Do you guys think that? Have you seen something from Francis that tells you, one, he can stop a takedown, or two, that he can get up from the bottom? Have you seen him stop a takedown? And have you seen him get up off the bottom? That would be the question I'd have to return to you. I've seen all of his fights. I already know the answer. It's no.